Hi guys, 18dap here and welcome to the latest matchday preview for the channel. It's League 2 football, it's Swindon versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to the latest matchday preview on the channel. Doncaster Rovers at Swindon Town in League 2. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and continuing to do so. If this video has brought you to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And if you are new to the channel, this is a format that we go through match previews. We look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I choose my opponent's one to watch. But as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if you're a Swindon fan watching this, thank you first and foremost. But get in the comments down below, let us know who we should be watching out for in your squad. And then we finish the video with three predictions. Predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. Me and the family have got predictions league table, so there's an update on that, and the all important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings between the two clubs. Swindon and Donny have faced off a total of 30 times in our history. Rovers looking good in this one. 13 wins out of those 30. We've lost 6. Swindon have won those 6, and we've shared the spoils 11 times. And drilling down into our more recent 5, Donny had the edge on this one as well, with 3 wins out of the 5 and a draw in there with 1 solitary defeat. So we'll go back to 2021 in League 1, and that was a 2-1 win away from home. And then in the 2022-23 season, traded blows a little bit really. A 1-0 defeat for the Rovers at home, but then we thanked them for that and beat them 2-0 at the county ground. And then last season in League 2, it was 0-0 draw at the Eco Power and then a 2-1 win at the county ground. So yeah, it's looking positive on recent history and overall history, but the game isn't played on history, is it? It's played on the day, so could be a different story, but hopefully that's a good omen for the Rovers looking at this one. Current form as well, it's difficult to really split us, Doncaster and Swindon. Rovers coming into this one with a draw, which ended up being a defeat on penalties in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy to Man United under 21s, and then a defeat, 2 wins and a draw. Swindon on the other hand, 1 defeat, 2 draws, 2 wins, so pretty much the same results over the last 5 in a different order. Just that penalty shootout defeat which changed that draw from a draw really. But yeah, 2 wins, 2 draws and a defeat each, so yeah, nothing to split us in this one. And with Swindon, you're never really quite sure what to get or what you're going to get, what to expect with them. We've seen them this season knock 4 past Newport and Bristol Rovers, but then we've also seen them concede 4 to the hands of Crawley and Walsall. They were beaten by Carlisle, who are struggling at the bottom of the table now, but they followed that up with a very spirited 2-1 defeat, although it is a defeat, but that was against the now league leaders Port Vale. So yeah, they're one of those kind of hot and cold teams. You just never know what you're going to expect, and I think Swindon will be coming into this one with bags and bags of confidence, coming in off the back of 2 wins. Obviously the 4-0 against Bristol Rovers and then 3-2 last time out at Cheltenham, and they're unbeaten in 4 across all competitions. So yeah, I think we could end up facing the good Swindon rather than the bad. So yeah, not looking forward to this one. We're going to have to be on the top of our game to get anything from this fixture. On to the Rovers. Decent result last time out in a tough game against Crewe. Really well organised, well drilled. We just weren't quick enough moving the ball around for me, and that's probably, for me, it could have and probably should have been more than the 1 point. The amount of shots that we had on goal, the amount of the ball that we had, we just weren't creative or inventive enough to break a really well drilled, well oiled, well organised Crewe team. Dimitri just absolutely bossed the back line, just ate everything up, which I knew he would. But yeah, disappointing goal to concede, so hopefully we have worked on that. But I think you look at it over a season, and in season past we'd have probably lost that one. So yeah, it's a point gained, but possibly 2 points dropped as well. It's one of those games. Results did go our way though, so despite the draw, it did move us up to 2nd in the table. It's extremely tight, with only 6 points separating Newport in 13th to Port Vale in 1st though. So yeah, one decent run or one bad run, that table completely flips. And we've got 3 tough games in a row at the minute. So we've got starting tomorrow at the county ground. I think we will end up facing the good Swindon rather than the bad, followed up by a home fixture against Bromley, a little bit of an unknown entity at this level. Obviously not doing particularly well, 10 points I think they've got at the minute, but we've seen what they're capable of near the start of the season. I think if you don't go into that game respecting them enough, but playing his own game, we could come unstuck in that one. And then we round the month off with a trip to Bradford and Valley Parade. So yeah, tough 3 games coming up, but if we get 7 points out of those, I'd be very happy. Moving on to player profile, so for this one I've gone with Harry Clifton, central midfielder for the Rovers, 26 years old. He started life pretty well at Donny with 2 goals and assists since joining from Grimsby, and for me he just seems so assured in the middle of the park, wants to get on the ball, bags of energy, always happy to put a tackle in. The silly double yellow card in 10 minutes at MK Dons is certainly behind him after he scored the winner against Barrow on his return from suspension. So yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing with Harry Clifton at the minute. I think it's going to be very tough to remove him from the team. He's playing really well, getting in and around it. Yeah, looks really positive. Moving on to the opponent's one to watch. As I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do, so if you're a Swindon fan watching and this individual isn't the one to watch, let us know who is in the comments down below. I've gone with Paul Glatzel, 23 years old, centre forward. Over his career, 108 appearances, a lot of it at this level. Went on loan to Tranmere. He spent a couple of seasons now at Swindon. And he started to apply his trade through the Liverpool Academy, so you're not going to be a bad player if you're coming through the Liverpool Academy. 46 goals in those 108 appearances, 19 assists. 2 of those goals have come recently in the 4-0 hammering of Bristol Rovers, so he's probably full of confidence. I'd expect him to be full of confidence now, bagging a couple of goals and looking half decent. So yeah, I think he's probably the one to watch for Swindon in tomorrow's fixture. Moving on to the predicted team lineup. So this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. It's all about the predicted team lineup for me though, and I've gone unchanged to my last preview. The preview against Crewe. Patrick Kelly should be back, and I'd probably swap out. Although Broadbent had a decent game, I think Kelly's just a bit more positive, and looks to go forward. So if he is back from international break and injury free, he replaces Broadbent in the middle for me. So Sharman Lowe in goal, Sterry, McGrath, Olowu and Fleming as the back 4, Bailey and Kelly as the holding midfielders, with Clifton just in front of those, Molyneux on the right, Gibson on the left and Billy Sharp up front on his own. And if that is the lineup, hopefully it's the lineup that gets us 3 points. In the comments down below, is there anybody to swap out of that 11? Onto the Predictions League table, and if you're new to this, me and the family predict scoreline for every single league game. 3 points for a correct score prediction, 1 point for a correct outcome but not scoreline, no points if you get it completely wrong. And if you're following this, you know that my dad's been on no points since the start of the season. He has struggled. He always goes with the Desmond 2-2. I went with 2-2 against Crewe, so he's changed it to 1-1. So my dad gets 3 points. He's off the board, but he's still rock bottom. But he has closed the gap significantly. I'm in third on 5 points after the 2-2 prediction, which got me 1 point. Chris and Max both went with wins, so we have closed the gap on those. Chris in second on 6, Max first, leading the way on 8 points. Lots of football to be played before the end of the season though. And that takes me on to the all important score prediction. And as I said at the start of the video, or earlier in the video, I think we're going to come up against the good Swindon, not the bad. So I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park tomorrow. Hopefully we play at the top of our game, and I honestly believe if we're on top of our game, there is nobody that we cannot beat in this league. But we've got to be on top of our game, and we've seen numerous times this season where levels have dropped and we've allowed teams to play their football. And I think if we do that here, it could be a difficult afternoon. But I'm going to back the boys. Went with a score draw last week. I think we've got enough to get beyond Swindon tomorrow, but narrowly. I'm going Swindon 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it. Comments in the section down below. any changes on the lineup, any players to watch, and your score predictions. I do enjoy reading them, and I'll try to reply to as many as possible. Subscribe if you haven't already. It will be greatly appreciated, and all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.